15 seconds.
Good morning and welcome to another edition of United Way's of What's the Word Wednesdays. My name is Audrey Walker, and today we are going to be discussing important resources available at Oakland County, Michigan Works. As a reminder, the last 10 minutes of today's conversations are reserved for questions. So please leave your questions in the Q&A box if you're watching on Zoom or the comment box on Facebook. And now I'd like to give a warm welcome to Amanda Klein, United Way's Manager of Advocacy and Government Relations, to talk a little bit about today's town hall.
Good morning, Audrey, and good morning to all of you joining us today. Jobs and employment are two words that we hear daily. There's no denying that we are currently in an economic recovery due to the pandemic. Businesses continue facing backlogs because of open jobs, and women needing childcare to work outside of the home are still feeling the greatest impact. To continue building momentum on our economic recovery, we must tackle the structural challenges to grow Michigan's economy. At United Way, we fully believe that no economic recovery for our region can be complete if it doesn't focus on eliminating poverty and lifting families into the middle class. We look at policy initiatives that will create good paying jobs and build industries of the future that are inclusive. We're lucky to have a Michigan Works network in our region who are really leading the way and providing resources for job seekers as well as employers, whether it's information on apprenticeships, training, resume building, or even boosting your interview skills. Our Michigan Works can help you. We are honored today to have Jennifer Llewellyn, the Director of Oakland County Michigan Works, and the Manager of Workforce Development at Oakland County, here with us today to talk a little bit more about some of the training programs and resources available to those who are looking for a job or may even be considering a career change. A little bit about Jennifer. She's known for her innovative and inclusive approach to workforce development with over 20 years of experience in workforce development programs, career management, and business workforce solutions. Jennifer is the board co-chair of the Workforce Intelligence Network, a member of the Automation Alley, a member of the Pontiac Funders Collaborative, and the OU Pontiac Initiative. In 2019, Jennifer received the Oakland County Excellence in Economic Development Award, and in 2020, she received a Martin Luther King Jr. Dreamer Award from the Greater Pontiac Community Coalition and the Michigan Works Association's Good Guy Award. She earned a bachelor's degree in human resources from Oakland University and is a certified career development facilitator and a certified business solutions professional. Welcome, Jennifer, and thank you for joining us today.
Good morning. Thank you, Amanda, and thank you, Audrey, for the opportunity to be here today. It's exciting for me to be back, and hopefully I can share my screen here. Everyone see that okay? Perfect. Well, it's an honor to be here on behalf of all of the Michigan Works agencies across Southeast Michigan and quite frankly, across the state. For those of you that aren't familiar with the Michigan Works system, we're one of 16 Michigan Works agencies across the state. So you'll see Oakland County as O, but many of the services and programs that I'll talk about today are available across the entire Oakland County Michigan Works system. In Oakland County, we're governed by County Executive Dave Coulter, as well as the Oakland County Workforce Development Board, which represents a majority business, but also key partners in disability services, homeless services, and other great partners from across the county that are all dedicated to workforce development. We are part of a regional collaboration with the 7 Michigan Works agencies and 10 community colleges across Southeast Michigan called the Workforce Intelligence Network, and a part of a national system of American Job Centers. So again, many of the services that I'll highlight today, while they're Oakland County specific, they are available in other parts of Southeast Michigan. In Oakland County, we have 6 Oakland County Michigan Works locations: Novi, Oak Park, Pontiac, Southfield, Troy, and Waterford. They are intentionally positioned in communities of highest need, in accessible locations, and they are open to the public currently. We've been open throughout the entire pandemic, even delivering services virtually. So if anyone needs service, we do encourage individuals to call and schedule virtual appointments if that makes them more comfortable. So a little bit about our team. We're approximately $24 million annually, the third largest Michigan Works agency. We serve about 150,000 job seekers and 3,000 businesses each year. During COVID, we did partner with the Michigan Unemployment Insurance Agency. We are a separate organization from UIA, but we did partner with them and take 728,000 unemployment insurance calls at our 6 centers. So we're pleased to be a part of that effort, and we value them as a partner. We do operate the 6 American Job Centers and have 4 other additional contracts to deliver food assistance programs, refugee programs, and a partnership with Oakland Community College. We have over 100 contract field staff across the 6 centers and are really seen as a state and national workforce development leader in the workforce development space. So a little bit about our job seeker programs. One of the most exciting things that came out of the pandemic for us was the conversion from our in-person workshops to virtual career workshops. And honestly, this will be probably something that we keep over the course of the years to come. We've had over 3,000 participants in our virtual career workshops over the last year. Registration is available online. They are virtual, but they're also live and interactive. So they're instructor-led. People can ask questions. There's a series of both career workshops and financial literacy workshops. So everything from resume writing to building a LinkedIn profile, and then into how to manage your 401k if you transition jobs, or how to save money on groceries. So there's some great opportunities there. We also offer an individualized career assistance program. So if an individual needs one-on-one support with their resume, maybe they went to the workshops and they're looking for a little bit more customized or personal service, they can work with, excuse me, one of our career development facilitators or our career advisors for one-on-one support with their job search. So this is everything from resume writing, interviewing preparation, help with networking, help connecting directly with employers that we serve. So it's a really, really great program to work with our specialists. We see ourselves as really the employment partner for any job seeker. So if an individual is looking for education and training, if they're looking for career support and connections, or if they're looking for job search assistance, we want to help them move forward. Our training programs are probably our most popular right now. Many people, I'm not sure if you saw the Microsoft study, but it said that 41% of Americans are looking for new jobs and new opportunities right now. And so we're getting a lot of interest in our training programs. We have funding available through federal and state grants to provide tuition assistance to individuals that want to go back to school and earn an industry recognized credential or certificate. Maybe that's to stay in their current field and upgrade their skills and be more competitive, or it could be a career transition. So these are just 2 examples of the programs. We did have one grant that was focused on retail workers, so providing up to $4,000 for impacted retail workers to go back to school and be trained in a new career occupation. We also had a COVID emergency grant that again provided $4,000 for individuals to go back to school. You sit down with one of our career advisors, talk about your background, your education, your skill sets, what are your short-term goals and long-term goals. And then we help you choose a training institution and a training program in the local area that's based on your specific choices. We also work closely in the employer-driven space. So we hear from businesses every day about what their top needs are at this point. So a few years ago, we started to hear from our major health systems, so Beaumont, Henry Ford Health System, saying we can't find sterile processing technicians. This is a high demand job. So we worked closely with those health systems and Oakland Community College to develop a sterile processing technician program. So this is more cohort based. We actually fill a class of 15 students. They receive the training from OCC. We fund the cost of their training through Oakland County, Michigan Works, and then we work with our employer partners for experience and placement at the completion of the program. Another example is our CNC program. Again, that was based on employer demand. So we worked with OCC to create the CNC machine operator program. Students received 2 of their NIM certifications, and we cover the cost of that training through the federal and state grants that we have. One of our more exciting models that has been successful with that is our PLC and robotics technician program. This was started a few years ago in partnership with a grant we received from WIN and OCC, but we heard from businesses, we need robotics, we need automation. This is industry 4.0 in the wave of the future. So we created it's a 15-week full-time program with OCC. It's about an $8,000 program, and students earn their FANUC certification, their OSHA 10 card, a PLC certification. We've already graduated 153 of the 200 students. We have 3 cohorts that are running right now, about a 70% placement rate, and the average wage is $17 an hour, but we have individuals now in the $20 and even low $30 an hour range that are being placed. Great story on Channel 4 that highlighted the program, and it's been extremely successful. Also, a lot of great work in the apprenticeship space. We do have an apprenticeship success coordinator on our staff. Her name's Liz Rivard Weston, and Liz can assist employers with starting an apprenticeship. We know it can be an intimidating process for businesses. They're not sure where to start. What do you mean I have to work with the Department of Labor? So we have Liz on our team who does an extraordinary job of working with our companies and helping them understand how to build a registered apprenticeship. We currently have about $500,000 available that we can award to a local business to help offset the cost of either the on-the-job training or the education portion of the apprenticeship. We've successfully launched several new apprenticeship programs. So we have a medical assistant apprenticeship program with Henry Ford Health System. We have an IT apprenticeship program with Bosch, working with the Great Lakes Water Authority and some childcare facilities on starting registered apprenticeships in those spaces, and of course, great partnerships with our labor organizations who do a tremendous job in the apprenticeship space already. National Apprenticeship Week is coming, so I'm sure you've all bought a cake and you're ready to celebrate, but the week of November 15th is National Apprenticeship Week. We will be hosting an event that focuses on veterans and apprenticeships through Oakland County, Michigan Works, and then also partnering with Oakland Community College on an event that they're hosting that is an Apprenticeship 101. So if you're not sure where to start on creating an apprenticeship program, that would be a great place to begin. And we do have an Oakland County Apprenticeship Task Force that's focusing on how we move the needle forward to create more apprenticeship opportunities across Oakland County. Many of you are familiar with Michigan Reconnect and Futures for Frontliners. These programs are state of Michigan programs that provide free community college tuition to eligible residents. So for Futures for Frontliners was 18 and over and an essential worker during the pandemic. Michigan Reconnect is 25 and over. We are a partner in this program. So if individuals need some career guidance or career counseling before they enroll in the program, or maybe they need some additional supports, we actually have a new program we're about to launch this week where we will provide the assistance with books and supplies for individuals, Oakland County residents who are enrolled in Futures for Frontliners and Michigan Reconnect. We found that that is a barrier for many of the individuals in the program. The tuition is fantastic, but maybe they can't afford the books, or they can't afford transportation or other factors that are interfering with their ability to enroll in the program or complete the program. So we're really excited. We received American Rescue Plan funds from Oakland County to launch that program. So we're hoping more individuals will enroll in education at OCC and other areas. We're also preparing in the next few weeks to launch a child care scholarship program. So we've heard from many people that they're struggling with child care. We know this is a factor, particularly for women. We've lost 200,000 women in the workforce in Michigan in the last year and a half. So we will be awarding $1,200 scholarships to 1,000 Oakland County families to help them get over that first hurdle, right? That first deposit or that first paycheck while they maybe get their first paycheck coming in, or they start in an education program. So we hope to roll that out in the next few weeks, but we're very excited because we know this is a significant barrier for many. Also under job seeker support, we do offer support to refugees and immigrants. So at all of our 6 offices, we have a refugee and immigrant navigator that can help that population get connected with community resources, job training programs, or any other needs or challenges that they might have. Great partnerships with our veterans, career advisors, Michigan Rehabilitation Services, the HHS. So we really see ourselves as kind of a one-stop shop. If you have any questions related to employment or partners or any community needs, please reach out to us. And if we can't help you, we absolutely know someone that can. Our newest program I'm particularly excited about is our Clean Slate expungement program. So this is new. It's a pilot program through the 16 Michigan Works agencies across the state. In Oakland County, we've had over 2,100 applicants since we launched the program in April. There is an application available online. We're currently funded as a pilot through June of 2022 and hopeful that it will continue based on the success of the program. And we had our first hearings this month. So it is a bit of a lengthy process from the time of application to get through the background check, the fingerprinting, and the process through the state police and the Attorney General's office. But we had our first 2 hearings last week and both of them were successful and successfully expunged. So great opportunities ahead for those individuals. Moving on to our youth programs. So a few years ago, we started a program called Oakland Next. And the concept is I'm Oakland's next attorney. I'm Oakland's next plumber. I'm Oakland's next truck driver. So we've started a series of training programs, again, that are employer driven and employer focused. So recently started a logistics technician program, again, based on feedback from some of our major employers, Amazon, Rite Aid, CVS, many other small businesses saying we need warehousing, we need logistics, we need supply chain management. We also launched in partnership with the Oakland County Sheriff's Office and 911 dispatcher program, which is really neat. It starts at $41,000 a year with the $3,100 signing bonus. And this was so successful that we're actually just preparing to launch a corrections officer program with them as well. So we provide the outreach, we provide supports, and they work with the Sheriff's Office to be considered for employment. And then our most recent program is truck drivers. So I think all of us are well aware of the supply chain issues, whether it's, automotive parts or grocery store, we see the supply chain pain points. So we're working with several truck driving programs across Oakland County and across Southeast Michigan, targeting 18 to 24-year-olds. And we provide their tuition. They receive their training through a local truck driving school and partner, and then working with employers to place them at the completion. Also a help desk administrator program. We do offer a paid internship program. This was our summer program. So we targeted youth 16 to 24 for paid internships and work-based learning this past summer. They can also do some online soft skills training for us. We're hearing from employers that our younger people could use some guidance in soft skills. And we do offer incentives for completion. So if they complete the soft skills training, if they complete the internship successfully, they can receive an incentive from us. You'll see a picture there. That's a group of students that we graduated from a construction program in partnership with the Talent Development Coalition in Pontiac and Habitat for Humanity. And we're also pursuing some foundation dollars from the Balmer Group to see if we can grow the program even more. Around career awareness, that's an important piece to us, and working with our local school districts. Recently held Oakland County Manufacturing Day. It was virtual this year. Usually we put kids on buses and drive them around the county and take them to manufacturing facilities, but last year and this year was virtual. So we had over 1,000 students have virtual tours of 10 different companies. Great partnership with our local ISD, Oakland Community College, and many, many school districts across the county. So we're working on talent tours. We hosted an apprenticeship showcase in partnership with Oakland Schools. We have an apprenticeship guide that features over 60 different apprenticeable occupations. And of course, if you didn't have a chance to check out our My Career Quest event in 2018 and 2019, we brought 10,000 high school students to the Suburban Collection Showplace in Novi to see and touch and learn about occupations in construction, advanced manufacturing, IT, and health sciences. So we're hoping to bring that back, fingers crossed, in 2022. But that's a great opportunity for our students to learn more. In the business services space, we have a business services team at our 6 offices that can help all businesses, small and large, with everything from recruiting, posting jobs, to training, also support with layoffs if that's a situation that they're unfortunately in, and supporting those employees. We do offer an employer workshop series. So similar to these great series that you have every Wednesday, we have a monthly employer workshop series. And our focus for the last year has really been helping companies understand how they can look at new talent pools. So whether that's individuals with disabilities or opening their door to international talent, finding new and innovative ways to recruit. This is a free employer workshop series and a great resource for many businesses, particularly small businesses that might not have a human resources person. We're in our final days of Going Pro Talent Fund season. This is a state of Michigan initiative. There's $40 million available statewide this year. That's the most ever, but it does provide funding to companies, existing employees, new hires, or create new apprenticeship programs. Companies can receive $1,500 for the new hire and existing employee training and $3,000 for apprenticeships. But the window to apply closes tomorrow. So act now. If you haven't started, you've got about 24 hours to get it done. Last year, we had 79 applications in Oakland County for over $2 million. All of them were awarded. And we're hopeful this year that the awards will be just as successful, and those will be announced in December. We also have other training funds available as well. So there's, as I mentioned before, apprenticeship funding. There's federal funding available for on-the-job training. So if you want to hire someone, but maybe they're not exactly, they're 80% of what you're looking for, and they need a little bit of training, we can help offset the costs of the individual's wages while they're in that training period. And that's a great initiative. And then we partner with many different partners, but OCC is a great partner in the Michigan New Jobs Training Program, which is a tax diversion, but it does allow companies to train new employees if they're in growth mode. One of my most favorite initiatives, this was started in 2019. We talked about how we've done a lot of work in recruiting and training for employers, but we had never done anything really in the employee retention space. So how do we help companies keep the great skills and talent that they have? So we started with some seed funding from the state of Michigan. The Michigan Works agencies across the state started the Business Resource Network. And the model is that we deploy a success coach out to the company once a week for just a few hours. So it might be every Monday from 2 to 4, the success coach is on site. And any employee, whether it's entry level to the executive, can meet confidentially one-on-one with that success coach to talk about anything that might be interfering with their ability to get to work, to stay at work. Most of the time, these are factors outside of work, family issues, financial issues, and the success coach helps them overcome those barriers. And ours is in partnership with OLSA, great partner. We're so thankful for the OLSA team, and it's just been very successful. In addition, the companies that are part of the network, they also meet once a month, and they talk to each other about any challenges that they're facing, not just in employee retention, but we had a request, around COVID safety policy, so they could share with one another. So it's a twofold. It's helping the employees overcome some of the barriers, but also helping the companies work better together. And it is currently funded for the next 3 years. We received American Rescue Plan funds, so there's no cost to companies to be a part of the Business Resource Network. I mentioned the unemployment support that we offered over the course of the year previously. And then our most exciting announcement came in the State of the County Executive Dave Coulter in his State of the County address in 2020 announced Oakland 80. So this is our goal, to have 80% of Oakland County residents have an industry recognized credential or certificate by 2030. So we're currently at 61%. So it's a very robust goal, but we just brought on an Oakland 80 administrator. Her name is Rana Al-Igo. And Rana is going to be leading this effort on our behalf. We have a great leadership team of K-12 education, community colleges, and universities, all working together to achieve this goal. By next year, we hope to deploy Oakland 80 career navigators across the county. Any Oakland County resident can reach out to them and ask for help getting connected to education, whether it's post-secondary universities or a community college or a proprietary school. Maybe it's their high school diploma or GED. And we are hoping to launch a scholarship program as well. So very similar to the programs I talked about earlier, being able to award individuals funding to go back to school. We're looking at 6 areas of focus. So we're looking at, how do we increase K-12 graduation rates? How do we get individuals enrolled in post-secondary education? How do we get people to complete? Our completion rates are not great. And then how do we get adults who have started college but didn't complete? We're looking at net migration, so including refugees and immigrants, but also how do we get people from other states to move to Oakland County? And I'm missing one. Oh, credentials and certificates. So you'll see soon we're about to launch a website that will have a dashboard of those 6 areas and the progress that we're making in all of those areas. So hopefully, I covered a lot in a short amount of time. I apologize for speaking so quickly, but it was a lot to cover. This is my contact information. If I have one ask from today is to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Many of the programs that I talked about today are highlighted on there. We would love to see you and hear from you. And thank you for the opportunity to be here today.
Well, wow, Jennifer, it seems like you guys have been really busy with so many wonderful programs, and we're so glad that you're able to share some of that information with us. We do have a little bit of time for questions, so just remember, if you have questions, you can put them in the Q&A box on Zoom or the comment box on Facebook. So with a lot of the programs you mentioned, Jennifer, what are some of the qualifications that someone might have to think about, whether it's the training programs that you had mentioned are possible, and also some of the programs that offer tuition assistance?
Yeah, that's a great question. So right now, Oakland County, Michigan Works has about 46 different funding sources and grants, and each comes with its own set of eligibility requirements and parameters. And so, where we start with people is just give us a call and let us talk to you and let us see where you're at and what your circumstances are. And then let's see if you fit into any one of those 46 grants. Generally speaking, most individuals that are laid off and collecting unemployment benefits are eligible for the programs. In addition, if individuals are low income, again, generally speaking, eligible for the programs. But we have other programs where an individual might have basic skills. So maybe they have challenges in reading and math, and that could make them eligible for the program. Or maybe they're receiving public assistance, so food stamps or cash assistance, that can make them eligible. And then we have other programs where all you have to be is 18, registered for selective service if you're male, that's a federal requirement, and a U.S. citizen or an eligible non-citizen. So, it's really best to just connect with us. Sure. You'll see on a lot of our programs, we don't mention the funding source, we don't mention the actual grant, and that's because there is so much available for us to see where people fit into various funding streams.
That's great. And so with different, you had mentioned how there's so many amount of people looking for jobs and things like that. What other trends are you seeing either from the workforce and the community in Oakland County, and also employers as well?
Sure. So, as you mentioned earlier, the pain point right now is talent, and our employers, quite frankly, are just desperate for talent and eager to fill positions. And we have, really 4 different competing factors going on right now. Obviously, I mentioned earlier the loss of women in the workforce. We can't afford to lose 200,000 women in the workforce in Michigan. And so we're seeing in a lot of those traditionally female dominated occupations like childcare, education, restaurant, hospitality, they're particularly struggling. So we have to focus on addressing some of the childcare issues, hopefully with K-12 education transitioning back in person, that will be helpful, but we've got to find ways to re-engage females in particular in the workforce to help out some of these employers. The second piece is labor force participation. So Michigan is actually ranked 42nd nationally for labor force participation, which has been trending downward for many years, but what COVID did is it really magnified that. And now, some industries were struggling before with talent, but now everyone is. And so, how do we get individuals that have been sidelined, whether it's returning citizens, whether it's maybe recently returning veterans or individuals with disabilities, or just people that have dropped out of the labor force in general, how do we get them re-engaged into the labor force? How do we get them into education and training programs with the skills and supports needed to be successful, not just in jobs now, but career pathways in the future? Also, unemployment rates are extremely low right now. I know there's a lot of narrative out there. I hear, get people off the couches, and, there's people just collecting, unemployment benefits. And quite frankly, it's not accurate. Our unemployment rate in Oakland County, I think, is about 2.7, 2.8% last time I looked. And so, there's not a significant number of people. Now, I'm not saying that wasn't a factor for some people, and it may have been, but it was not the factor. So, continuing to work towards full employment and making sure that, again, people have the supports. And then, we're seeing retirees drop out of the workforce at an increasing rate. I know we've seen it just even in our own system, and trying to refill those jobs is challenging. People still do have concerns around the Delta variant, whether they, have maybe young children at home that can't be vaccinated yet, or maybe they're caring for a loved one that has, pre-existing health conditions. That is still a significant factor for many people. So it's almost a perfect storm. But many of these challenges, we were facing them pre-pandemic, but they've really been magnified over the course of the last year.
Yeah, that's definitely something that we were acknowledging at United Way as well. Just issues that are happening in our community have been happening, but very heightened by the pandemic. Well, we want to thank you so much for sharing all this valuable information. It sounds like if you've heard anything at this town hall today, it's really just get connected with Oakland County Michigan Works or the Michigan Works in your community, since they are all over the state. And now I'm going to turn it back over to Amanda.
Thanks, Audrey, and thank you again, Jennifer, for joining us today. We have just a few more updates to share with you before we close things out today. As a reminder for anyone in our community who may be experiencing a need, our 211 helpline remains available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We maintain a running list of available services in the community, and you can connect to the support you need. You can also look up resources in your area by using our 211 resource directory at unitedwaysem.org/211. Time is running out to apply for FEMA disaster relief for the floods that ravaged our communities in June. The deadline is Friday, November 12th, and residents and business owners who sustained losses in the designated counties should apply for assistance by registering online at www.disasterassistance.gov. Our next What's the Word Wednesday town hall, we will be joined by Focus Hope and members of our volunteer engagement team to share information about year-end and holiday volunteering opportunities. To see our previous town halls and to sign up for email updates on upcoming town halls, please visit unitedwaysem.org/virtual town halls. That's all for today. Stay safe and continue to live united.